Welcome to lesson 14. Go ahead and complete your name, today's date, and circle your team name at the top, and then solve the appetizer. Go ahead and check your appetizer with mine and move on to main dish part 1. Today we're going to be talking about a lot of triangles and how we can name triangles specifically based off of their sides and based off of their angles. Main dish part 1, we're really focusing on just naming triangles based off of their sides. So a triangle can be named a scalene triangle, an isosceles triangle, or an equilateral triangle. A scalene triangle is when every single length of every single side are all three different lengths. None of them are the same amount of length. An isosceles triangle is when two of the sides are the exact same length and then one is different. And then an equilateral, kind of like the name equal within that, all of the sides are equal length. So all three sides are the exact same measurement. So now we just need to label the triangles down here below, and we're going to try adding these little lines that you see on the top three triangles above. What those little dashes mean is different length measurements, so that you can easily see if the lengths are the same or not. So this first triangle we have 4 inches, 4 inches, and 4 inches. So since this one is 4 inches, it's going to get a line. This one is also 4 inches, so it's going to get the exact same line. Same thing with the bottom line being 4 inches. They all are going to have that one dash to show 1 or 2, or how you just have to stay consistent with it. And that's just showing if those 4 inches weren't there, that makes sure that they are the exact same measurement. Now, naming the triangle, because all three sides are equal, this is going to be a equilateral triangle. Moving on to this next one over here. 2 centimeters for the base down here. Then we've got 10 centimeters. This is a different length, so we're going to put another dash on there to show that they're different. And then on our little slanted piece over here, 12 centimeters is another different length, so we're going to add an extra dash on this as well, showing that all three of these sides are different lengths, meaning it's going to be a scalene triangle. Lastly, this final triangle we've got down here, we've got 6 feet as one side, 6 feet for the other side, so these dashes are going to match. And then we've got 3 feet. So I'm going to add 2 dashes here to show that 2 of them are the same, but one is different. And this triangle is going to be an isosceles triangle. So a reminder, all three equal sides, equilateral. All three different lengths, scalene. 2 of the sides being the same is going to be that isosceles. How do you know if a triangle is an equilateral triangle? Well, if all 3 sides are the same length. That's how you would know if it's an equilateral triangle. Go ahead and turn to main dish part 2. We're going to learn 3 different names, this time based off of their angles. So I'm first just going to zoom in so that we can focus on the bottom 3 triangles at the top. We just learned the triangles based off of their sides, but now we're getting to some familiar words here. If every single angle within the triangle is less than 90 degrees, if they're acute, that's going to be an acute triangle. So it's not too creative with the name, and it's pretty helpful for us. If there is one angle that is 90 degrees, this is going to be called a right triangle. If there is one angle that is greater than 90 degrees, it's going to be an obtuse angle. So notice for the right and obtuse angles, only one angle has to be that 90 degrees, or only one angle needs to be that greater than 90 degrees, and it's going to be either a right or obtuse angle. So this time, we're going to name triangles two ways. We're going to name them based off of their lengths and based off their sides, and then we're also going to name them by their angles. So looking at this first triangle, I'm going to label with my dashes to help me out here. And I'm going to determine, is this scalene, isosceles, or equilateral. Looking at the top in my notes, since all of the sides are different, this is going to be a scalene triangle. Now looking at my angles, I can tell that this one is acute. I can tell that this one is acute. And then for this one, I need to kind of turn my paper because I can't decide what it might be. And when I turn it, I can tell that this angle is actually obtuse. So looking at my notes above, if there is one angle that's greater than 90 degrees, it's going to be an obtuse triangle. So this triangle is a scalene obtuse triangle. Go ahead and try out the next one on your own. All three sides were the exact same length, making this an equilateral triangle, and all three angles were all acute, making this an acute triangle. So this is an equilateral acute triangle. Feel free to use your notes to help you with today's dessert, but you are going to need to do the exit ticket without using your notes. So if you need to keep rewatching this video to remind yourself of the different names and the different descriptions of each one, make sure you do that. Good luck.